Good evening, viewers of Team Fortress TV. I am Max Money, and alongside me today is CommanderX and DavidTheWin. Today is the Perilous Gaming versus nerdRage game for ETF2L. CX, are you excited?
Yeah, especially after that flawless intro.
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about these teams, Commander.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's sort of like a preview to the playoffs next weekend. Two best teams in Europe for a couple of seasons now, really. Sort of skipping out Epsilon's brief foray back into TF2 last season. But yeah, it's hype. It's going to be like a really good preview of everything. Like I've seen Sideshow's been like streaming and fucking MGing like all day in preparation for this.
I watched him play some ulti duo with Demol. That was pretty interesting. He was hitting some rockets, so hopefully he can continue that into the games and not just get slammed on flank. That would be pretty nice for Perilous, formerly Full Tilt, as well as their opponents, who I'm sure have also been preparing for this. The preview for what might be the final Perilous versus nerdRage Seed 1 and 2 for the season, right?
Yeah, so basically what's going to happen next weekend is, depending on who finishes first and second, which we'll find out after tonight's game, Public Clear will play DD and 5 Abs. Winner of that plays whoever finishes second seed. And I think that first game's on Saturday, then the semi-finals on Sunday, and then the grand final right afterwards on Sunday as well.
Whoa, it's going to be an exciting week for TF2 then.
Yeah, it's all been building up to this sort of, what we're on week 7 now, final week. It's all been played out. Everything's decided, like everything else is set in. It's just these final 2 spots, you know, this first and second seed being decided by the last game of the season. Hold on, I think we have. If we take a look at their sort of routes so far, you can see both teams have been like incredibly dominant.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Yeah, basically like Perilous, there on the left, drop in I think 1 point to Infused, 1 map to Lego. nerdRage drop in a single point all season to Public Clear, all the way back in week 2, and since then it's just been straight 6-0s for the nerdRage team.
Wow, just took a little bit to get their stride, and plus that 1 point was on Sunshine, which is by far the weakest map as well, so that had a lot to do with it. Although over on the Perilous side, still looking pretty clean, but there is that 1 draw versus Lego. Another 5-1 on week 2 for them as well versus Team Fused. Looks like Sunshine and Snakewater is a bit of a dodgy 2 maps for some teams here. Yeah,
no one's good at Sunshine.
Yeah,
it's just a lottery.
This season's GPIT.
Yeah, and if you can bring up the tables now as well, you can see what this means in the long and short of it is nerdRage are top seed right now, 3, so 1 map ahead basically with 2 maps left to play. So Perilous need to finish top seed. They need to take 4 points in this game, one way or another. So obviously Viaduct you can't tie. So they basically need to win Viaduct really.
Yeah.
They need to win Viaduct and then at least get a tie on Badlands.
Golden Cap.
Then that would be a pretty big upset, you know.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I think so.
Like, nerdRage has been kind of at the top for a long time, pretty established, always seemed pretty comfortable. But obviously, like, I don't know, Viaduct's a bit of a weird one. It's one of those maps that teams can struggle on. We saw nerdRage play last week without Kaidus, with Spudd instead. I think they won 3-0, but it wasn't the most comfortable of Viaduct games, you know, going right down to the wire on a couple of points. Whereas with Perilous, because they got the default last week against Foreskings because they didn't have enough players, we have no idea really what we're going to see from Full Tilt.
Dude, it could be like their trap card, you know? Just maybe they're super sick.
Yeah, they bribed Foreskings to default it so that nerdRage would have no idea what they're coming into.
I don't know, like, Ast and Thalash are definitely capable of taking over a game on Viaduct, like, especially Ast, like, he's already a monster. A map like Viaduct can truly unlock him. But then again, nerdRage do have Stark, so not too sure how that would go.
Okay, we're still waiting on Source TV info. Let's take a look at our top seed first, their lineup. If I press all the right buttons,
I believe.
I think I did. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. Even got the proper skins. I like it.
Oh wow, that is fancy.
So obviously this is nerdRage, our top seed. Permzilla on medic, Kaidus on demo, Captain and Drak on soldier, and Starkey and Haffy on scout. Obviously most of this team's pretty established, like especially Kaidus, Haffy, and Captain, that sort of combo. But Drak's the new player here, really. Coming in first season with the team, and as you can see, just briefly from these sort of summary stats here, fitting in pretty well.
Yeah, it does look like it. 3rd, 2nd, and 12th respectively on the stats. Although, like, it's not really his job to do a lot of damage, so that's probably why it's so low. To be fair to the man, and it's like a new team. It's not his first time playing Prem though. He played on another Reason lineup at I-52. Can't remember exactly where they finished. Drak's definitely been capable for a while. He's carrying some dribblers in high as well before he joined Reason at the time, now nerdRage. Definitely come into his own along with Captain on pocket with some beastly stats. 1st on KD, KAD, and 4th on DPM. 47 air shots as well. Pretty impressive from the Dutch soldier there. Overall, the nerdRage lineup just looks so sick.
You see, if you just sort of skim those numbers in brackets, that sort of tell you the player's rank for their own class for that stat. And you just see, like, Permzilla's top of KD on medic, Kaidus is pretty much top of everything, Captain, Haffy, Cool, Stark, like 1st and 2nd, like, just good players across the roster. And that's what's going to be, I think, most difficult for Perilous today, is that there's not really a weak link as such,
Yeah, like everyone on the team is reliable.
Yeah, they just kind of have to genuinely outclass. They can't sort of exploit individuals as much. Speaking of Perilous, let's take a look at them as well. Again, quite established. A bit of sort of shaky start to the season in terms of sort of Silentis dropping out, Tech filling in for a couple of weeks, then Silentis coming back. And we've seen it not affect him a lot. Like, obviously, they're still getting the results, but we see, like, I think Kos has died a lot more in this season, not through any of the sort of wrongdoing of his own, but he just seems he's not got the same amount of cover as he has done previous seasons.
Yeah. It's totally fair. What I see looking at these numbers, though, Sideshow is like, I don't know, like, these numbers are pretty damn respectable compared to, like, nerdRage. They're still, like, all in, the top 5 on pretty much everything. And then there's a bit of a problem on the flank here in terms of these numbers. They're a little lower than I imagine Perilous would want them, but Sideshow's job is not exactly to be a fragger, though. Like, he's the distraction player, right? And he does do it pretty well. Like, he sets up his team quite nicely. If you ever watch his demo reviews, you can see he knows what he's talking about and what he's doing.
Spudd has got as many air shots as Sideshow.
Okay.
Despite air shots definitely being easier on Soldier. Definitely easier to hit air shots on Soldier, especially the way logs count them. Interesting, yeah.
I guess everything I said has just gone out the window. Spudd. For being so
Spudd
good.
is the anti-air, yeah. But yeah, like you said, like everyone, like most, like obviously Kos second behind Permzilla and KAD. Spudd is up there and was top. Same with Silentis and Ast. Talash hanging a bit lower down, but he plays more of a, I don't know, like a loose role on the flank. Do you know what I mean? He really doesn't take any heals at all, and is sort of a sort of guy who just sets up the playmaking. And he has even though he's not putting out constant damage, he hits the clutch shots. Yeah, whether on sniper or scout, he gets sort of he's sort of that big play maker.
I've said it before that, like, Perilous, the team is like Kos, Spudd, Silentis, and Sideshow. Like, they're the ones who sort of set up the plays, and then their scouts are kind of like the wild card that can randomly just get the 5Ks that win them the rounds,
Yeah, you see it a lot where you see like both Ast and Talash are kind of low on DPM.
Yeah.
But then Spudd and Silentis in particular, just sort of with that combo, just pumping out damage. Like, between them both, they hit so many shots, and they're just a constant source of damage for everyone else on the team to play off of. And it works really well most of the time. I think, the only teams it was Lego they dropped to map 2, and obviously nerdRage they have problems with. But
you can't argue with the results.
So going into this game as well, obviously nerdRage have a massive favourites. Saloon TF has had the bets up for a good week.
Ooh, wow.
And it's been pretty much the same story betting wise as well. 82 to 18% in favour of nerdRage. Everyone taking the safe option here.
Yeah, that's as safe as you can get. That's like, I don't even know. I was going to try and think of some crazy simile, but I can't. 82 versus 18 is just crazy. But it makes sense, though. Like, if you're putting your life on the line for this, you should definitely be betting on nerdRage.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend betting like your soul or your life on Saloon. Like,
couple keys though.
Gio won't take those odds.
You can put a couple keys on Perilous though. It can't hurt.
I think I saw a couple of people. I think Sleaze. I don't know who he is, but he bet 2 keys on Perilous.
So he's about to be rich.
He's gonna be loaded by the end of this.
Who was it? Osomniacs got like super upset by Saints right before A52, and someone made mad bank off of that. This could be another one of those situations. If you look at Kaidus teams, they usually don't finish as high as they're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And I think also, because this game, even though obviously both teams want to be top seed, I really don't think it's the biggest deal for nerdRage in a lot of ways. Obviously, they want to, and they're confident they can win tonight. But I don't think they're going to be trying their hardest. Do you know what I mean? Not trying their hardest, but they're not going to get stressed out. They're not going to get, really,
they're not going to fold if they lose this.
Yeah, it's going to be like, no, we're not going into the playoffs unless we're top seed.
Yeah. So, for obviously I know, but for everyone that doesn't, what is the difference between being the first and the second seed? Like, what does that mean for the team?
First seed basically means you don't have to go through any of the playoffs. You are in the grand final essentially. You're right there, and you just have to wait for everyone else to play each other. The winner of all that plays you. So you get a much more chilled out route. You don't have to play say for public League, for example. If they want to win Premiership, they have to go through 3 life or death best of 3s. They have to win all of those stress situations. Whereas obviously if you're first seed, you don't have to worry about all of that. You just sit there, you wait, you do your own preparation, and you just sit there and wait for it. And I believe you get slightly better map picks as well. I can never remember what the map picks are from this season, but I'm pretty sure you get better map picks as well if you're the higher seed. Which will mean they can avoid, nerdRage can avoid Sunshine if they get into that situation.
I'm sure they'd love to avoid Sunshine. The sun sets on nerdRage when it goes to that map. It's so hard to watch.
I believe we've even got a server now.
Oh, nice. We can actually talk about what might happen.
Yeah, Sideshow has finished his pickup. So the players are joining the server. So I've got a few head-to-heads lined up.
Production value,
the right button. Let's start with what I think will be sort of key throughout, if I can find the right button. There we go. Kaidus against Spudd, the Battle of the Demo Men. 2 top British demo men, both... Kaidus has been around for forever. Really been at the top of the scene. But Spudd recently has sort of established himself as, just as good. Do you know what I mean? Matching him for DPM. Yeah. Spudd is sort of a master of just staying alive and pumping out damage continuously, which on Viaduct is exactly what you want your demo man to do. Just stay alive and keep that constant spam up. So when it comes to these messy team fights, you've got that initial spam advantage. So I think Viaduct especially is going to be a strong map for Spudd.
Yeah, I'm gonna expect to see some big numbers in the logs, but I completely agree with what you're saying. He's been really proving himself, because it was kind of one of those players for a while. It's we want to see him in Prem, we want to see what he can do. He's definitely got some talent, and then he played with Dogs, which was a pretty decent team. They got 4th, that was really good for them. And Spudd definitely proved to be the standout player for that team. He did so much work. And just seeing him now on this top team makes me happy, because I love seeing him play. It's so good to watch. He has incredible DM. He's super consistent. It's actually crazy. He rarely has a bad performance, although he can tilt if you get him to. If you put enough pressure on him, if he dies a bit too much, he can start to fold a little. But I don't know. I think that could be something he overcomes in the future. But right now, it still might be an issue. nerdRage, Stark and Hardy on scouts. If he plays a bit too aggressive, feels himself too much, he might just get shut down completely.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a risk, especially on Viaduct, where scouts can run free. It does mean Stark's hard to contain on most maps, let alone a map that, favours scouts so much and is really open for them. So there's a potential, do you know what I mean? Stark can just sort of make Spudd sort of his target for the game. But it's certainly going to be an interesting sort of head-to-head throughout the series, not just on here.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how the middles go, because I've known Spudd for a very long time, and I've often heard him talk about he just loves playing Kaidus on middles. He feels he learns more about how to play the game and stuff whenever he does it. He always has fun, and they definitely do match up pretty well. He's done it for a while now. It's going to be pretty sick to see. Nice stickies, nice pipes, I hope. I don't know, I feel like this game's going to be really fast-paced, like, for these two teams. They're going to try and play as aggressive as possible.
I think as well, like, even though Kaidus may be better, but I think, in all honesty, they're both going to be pumping out damage, they're both going to be putting strong performances in, and they might cancel each other out to a large degree, just sort of neutralise each other, sort of both give their teams equal advantage. I'm more interested in Ast versus Haffy.
Oh, what a segue.
If I can press the right button, that would have been a sick segue. There we go.
The battle of the passive scouts.
Yeah, Haffy Cool is really good at what he does. Like, he's like mad freeze or getting these like sick kill streaks or hitting these sick shots, but he's just constantly with Permzilla and Kaidus, constantly getting those frags. And you can see how, like, if you look at his like average KD and KAD, like, he's considering, like, so with like kill assist to death ratio, Haffy's first and Ast is second, so two of the best in the game at it. But if you look at the differential, like 4.2 to 2.8, Haffy's not just first, he's first by a mile, like, all these clean-up frags.
Wow. Like, that's pretty incredible. That kind of sums up this season. There's that one team of, like, it's ahead, like, it's first, but it's quite ahead. That's what this looks like. Like, he has so much less deaths as well, which is, like, a huge part of passive scout. Like, that 8 to 12 death difference is really huge. That's like winning a couple key fights, when you're like the last alive and stuff like that. Like, as a passive scout, like, it's pretty much most imperative that you keep yourself and the person you're supposed to be protecting alive, whether it's the demo or the medic in the situation. And the fact that Haffy has such little deaths, especially with those 22 kills to go along with it, that's honestly just crazy.
Yeah, he's just involved in everything, do you know what I mean? Like, It's quite weird, because both these teams play quite a similar thing, like Captain, Kaidus, and Haffy against sort of Spudd, Sil, and Ast. Like, they kind of play in that similar style, do you know what I mean? Where they're very much the central combo that does all the work, that, does the damage, get the cleanup, and allows the flank to sort of operate on its own, and allow them to go for more sort of like playmaking style stuff.
Yeah, if you never have to worry about like your med getting fragged for no reason or something on the combo, like it just opens you up so much more on flank. If anyone plays on the flank, you know how much nicer it is knowing like your combo is safe. And with Haffy and Captain there, like Stark's always free to go for these crazy like back cap plays and stuff. He's behind so much and he does so much work with it. Like, I don't know, Huffy just like unlocks his team pretty much. He lets them play how they want to because they know Perm's always going to be fine with him.
Yeah, but the only thing, I think Ast is just as good as Haffy at this, but occasionally in games you see Ast sort of go missing. Like, he doesn't like put up bad stats or do particularly badly, but he's just not with the combo, not getting the same kind of cleanup. So in this game as well, it'll be so important that that he does stay with that combo and he keeps supporting them, and that he can, more importantly, keep costs alive, because I think that's really been one of the biggest differences this season. And I think I have medic stats as well.
Oh, nice. That's like the longest period I've gone about talking about Haffy without like shit talking.
There we go. A slightly nicer looking medic stats.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, if these meds basically first and second. We see overall, but in the more recent games, I've sort of been struggling to stay alive more. Like, not because he's, like I said earlier, it's not because he's bad at dodging or anything, but just a bit more vulnerable. So I think that'll be the play tonight. Because if you look at like the bottom stats, like considering Cobb died about the same as Perm overall, but you look at the total number of Ubers being put out.
Oh, wow. That's a huge difference there. 114 to 57. Is that? Yeah, that is. That's
it's crazy.
Literally double. I was trying to do the maths in my head, but I thank you, DavidTheWin, for telling me that it is literally double, because I was trying to figure that one out for like 20 seconds.
You can see as well, one interesting thing is that Perm's gone crits, I think, 7 times across the season, and Cost hasn't at all.
Yeah,
like, at any point. Like...
When Spudd is your demo, why would you not go crits? Perilous. Just sleep in here.
Interesting, yeah. It's interesting to see that they've never, at not a single point during the season did they, individually or as a team, did anyone feel like it was, a good time to go crits?
No, dude, that's the strat. Make the people believe that you're the team that never goes crits. Then I-58 Grand Finals. Golden Cap crits to mid, to lose the mid, to then re-crits, to win mid, to then push to last and win. And that's the story of Perilous Gaming. I can feel it now, CX. Well, yo, look at these Uber drops. They're literally the same.
Yep, spot on.
28.5 to 28.5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's kind of high.
You should bear in mind, obviously, since Costa's had less Ubers.
Oh,
yeah, it kind of
it's a higher
balances out.
percentage of drops.
Well, yeah, and Perm's dropped more Ubers, but he's had more Ubers, so it balances out. But
the bottom bar, 16.29 to 57 drop ratio. Whoa.
Yeah. To be honest, though, I think, particularly on Viaduct, Perm might have problems, just because it's not, you have to play Medic on Viaduct slightly differently to other maps.
Yeah.
So I think his sort of eyes on Permzilla and his decision making during this first map could be absolutely crucial, and is potentially maybe one of the few weaknesses nerdRage may have.
Yeah, like nerdRage typically, like, one of their biggest advantages that they have over teams is just how much more coordinated and like collected they are as a team. Like, they always know what they're doing and stuff. But with Viaduct, that can't, like, you can be coordinated to a certain extent. Like, there's just so much going on. There are so many fights. Like, anything can crumble at like any point. And I think the Perilous do have a good chance to like kind of get in sometime, get under the skin, get something going, because it's like you can be coordinated up to a point when you're just like constantly fighting, and you have these like, you have to keep track of spawners, Ubers, like the amount of damage that's been done at all times. Like Viaduct honestly just produce like non-stop rounds, and it's just, if they can do it, that'd be pretty impressive.
We're going to find out right now, as we're going live right now. Final game of the ETF2L Season 23 League season. Perilous against nerdRage. Viaduct for the first map. Both teams rolling out. Spudd taking the slow rollout. Same as Kaidus, just walking it in. I want to say full health as they get up to middle. Both teams just sort of standing off against each other on this first mid. Drac messes up his first bomb. Captain's going to try and deny this soldier as Sideshow goes forward. He gets focused down. Captain's going to go aggressive onto Cost right now. Juggles him up. He's all over Spudd as well. Perilous are just getting sandwiched here right now. The scouts are still coming in. Kalash gets Kaidus. Solentis is in. Gets Happy Cool weak, but can't finish him off. And Captain getting so many frags on this opening middle, just cleaning everything up after he got that med pick.
Yeah, we were talking about how like scouts can get opened up on this map, but I think Captain just got opened up. There was so much damage, he just cleaned up like everyone, hit a sick direct on Thalash, who did pick up the Kaidus in the end there. That was nice, but ultimately the mid is going to go the way of nerdRage. Let's see how they're holding it. They're taking it on this cliff while Perilous are pushing it. They're going across the point now, and Citrus trying to make a play on the right. It's almost capped out, but nerdRage have this Uber to play off, and they're coming in now. Uber's pop. They're getting onto them as much as possible. Cost is going to be the first one taken down. Already a great Uber. Now they're just getting back on the point, recapping it, and they just need to hold it. There is a player behind, but I wonder if they know about that. As the fight on middle, he's going to jump in. Both these Solis right now doing so much damage, but the fight's going quite evenly. No clear winner just yet. Captain's trying to fight on this middle, but he's going to get taken down by Solentis, owning this rock 3 versus 3, but the health is a lot better for nerdRage. Stark's just going to come in and clean Solentis. This should be nerdRage holding for a little bit longer, CX.
Sideshow had a chance there, like Perm was down low and Sideshow had like one final rocket before he was going to die, and he just missed the final rocket and Permzilla gets away with it. But the action continues straight away as we see Spudd going straight in, focusing down Happy Cool there, pins him back right now. Spudd will go down, gets caught overextended by Stark, but Perilous want to keep taking this fight all over Kaidus right now. Big shot by Sideshow. All that MG today has paid off. Now Solentis is going in but gets focused down by Scout. Sideshow's going to pick up another one by Drac is flanking behind and Permzilla is dangerously close to Uber. They're trying to sandwich them both. Cost is trapped in. Perilous are trying to fight two sides at the same time and they're just getting picked off. They're trying to make a play onto Perm. One shot, two shot, but Perm still got 70 health left. And Stark and Happy Cool, just a much better job than the Perilous scouts of locking that down and protecting Permzilla.
That fight was crazy. It was like going completely even, but like nerdRage knew to stay in as Perm was getting close to that Uber, and he knew that both scouts were with him. The moment the fight started to like go their way, Perilous tried to go for Perm, but then the scouts are just there to clean up, and he still has his Uber. Cost's not even close to his now. Slicer's going to get taken down, followed by Solentis straight away. This push is not looking too... Sorry, just Solentis going down. This push is not looking too good for Perilous right now. nerdRage still holding on their cliff. Kaidus is the most forward player on the rock right now, but the scouts are always going to be ready to protect him. I think Perilous are just going to wait for their Uber right now. Oh no, they're going for the suicide. Spudd with that huge jump right in, but just going to get taken down. Asked as well to Kaidus. That's the suicide wave. Pretty much rip arena right there, CX.
Yeah, they seemed like they were a bit of indecision there. And then they just sort of said, well, let's wait for Uber now, because it's not worked previously. So then they just sack some people out the last end, but nerdRage are going to move to a forward hold off the back of this. Spudd is trying to get through that door, but it's so sticky. They're going to have to go a different way, surely. So Lentis is going to take the sticky debt. Not sure about that one, and this is just buying so much time for nerdRage now. Perilous don't quite seem to know how they want to go. They're shut down main by the soldier spam as well. Sideshow's through and out, but he gets denied hard by Stark.
Well,
and there's no way free for him right now. They're going to have to try again. They're going to Uber through main. Spudd's going to jump forward, but Permzilla's just backing it off. Lentis is coming in. Kaidus is actually trapped in here. They might be able to pick him up. They do pick up Kaidus, but Permzilla still has that Uber, and he's just healing up his players. They're ready for this Perilous attack. They're ploughing forward across the point. Happy Cool's going to get dropped, but Stark and Drak are able to clean up a couple of players here. Stark should be able to get a final one to Talash as well. Nice work from Stark there on a nice clean-up. But in comes the bomb again, Sideshow and Aston for Perilous. Pushing them back. They have to get on the point right now, Perilous. Captain and Drak both get bombed. So much damage from the nerdRage soldiers. Going to clean everything up. Koss comes in and kills Captain. But wow, yeah, they're going to clean it up and run that final time for the point, and nerdRage take the lead in that first round.
It was such a monstrous round. Stark finished that on a 10 or 9 kill streak. That was pretty crazy. Captain as well had like so many frags that round. He probably hit like 9 directs in that like final fight. I really like it by Perilous, you know, to keep the pressure rolling. Like, yeah, they had to because of the time, but they weren't scared to do it. Like, they're really willing to take the fight to nerdRage, but it just kind of gets stuffed before it happens, which is pretty unfortunate. But maybe they can get their heads into it a bit more on this next mid-fight, CommanderX.
Yeah, we're going to see Solentes go straight over the top first. Sideshow following up. So much pressure on these nerdRage players, but they can't quite find any frags off the back of it. Ast is now coming in. They do pick off Drak. Talash perhaps too deep on that other side, and now nerdRage are going to re-push in. Happy Cool and Stark threatening. Sideshow's going to get an arrow to try and line us up. Sideshow's going for a bomb, but he's just getting focused down. Stark and Happy are just providing such like a wall of defense in front of the rest of the nerdRage players. Now, Perilous can't get anything going past them.
There's just such control from nerdRage. Like, they always have one player like dealing 100 damage to everyone. Kaidus was just sitting on cliff spamming everyone with stickies, then they were getting shot. Perilous had to back off. They're going to try it again now. They're just getting on this cap. Both Ubers are in play. nerdRage are actually going to use theirs first. They finally get the pop from Koss. Captain's going to take this to jump behind. He's actually jumping the sniper of Thalash, but there's not really happening much just yet. Spudd is going to get taken down by Stark at the end of that, though, and this is pretty much looking very good for nerdRage. None of the heavies are really in position for Perilous. They're just going to have to wait for Thalash to do something on sniper right now. Drak does go down to Sideshow, but I don't know. Okay, no, Perilous are going to keep this one going. They bomb onto Kaidus. Drak is in behind, Captain even. He's actually going to find a pick onto Solentis, and all the frags are just going the way of nerdRage again. Stark onto Spudd. As does take Happy Cool, but he's trapped behind right now, and he's just going to get finished off by Captain. nerdRage is just dominating this map.
Yeah, Koss did so well to get out of that somehow, but do you see there, like, as soon as Stark has played basically as a second pocket scout this entire game, right up until Talash goes on sniper, and as soon as he spots there's like less people on the flank, Stark instantly just goes for that flank, gets behind and gets 2 frags, just exploiting the weaknesses of a sniper there. As we see Talash back on his sniper again. Perilous committing to this fight, only on 70%. Doesn't look like nerdRage want to go into them both, and there's an opportunity for nerdRage, as Koss has taken a lot of damage to punish them here. But actually, Kaidus is going to go down to a headshot. This might work out for Perilous, as they've just been allowed to get cap time and get the Uber. The Uber comes in now from Captain and Permzilla, but it's too little too late, as Koss is able to milk it onto Solentes. Captain has gone behind to pick off the sniper. So we need to be careful right now, because Captain and Drak are behind. Perilous have extended forward, but in they come. Captain all over Koss, gonna finish him up, and nerdRage just crushing him right now.
Yeah, Captain and Drak went absolutely ham. It was like a drive-by. Captain jumped in from behind, and Drak had the shot there as well, and they just slammed Spudd, and from there, Stark, Huffy just cleaned up all their extra damage the splash did, and just kept the middle. 113 remaining for nerdRage, only 242 Perilous. This forward hold again being used by nerdRage. It went pretty bad last time. Spudd with the charging charge gets through and double dunks.
Kaidus is going to get picked off as well, and they just were not ready for that charge. They're going to lose Stark. They've lost 3 right now, nerdRage. Captain's desperately trying to fall out, so is Drak, and Perilous have just forced them out of here, just bullying their way through with that charge. Great play from Spudd. Like, great decision, and just, what a shot as well. Perfect.
Look at the chat, Huffy, you fucking lagged out and donked me. It's so salty. Can't accept the fact that he just got slammed. Can everyone put Happy Bad in the chat right now? But while you do that, the rest of this game is still happening. Uber used from nerdRage streaming across this point, taking out Spudd. Soldier really low as well. They're going to try and fight on their cliff. They are going to push back Drak, but the nerdRage should be recapping this one, and they've only got 45 seconds left to tick down CX, but 80% for cost.
Yeah, Silentis is just waiting for his last 10%, then he's ready to go. Koss is meeting up with Ast, healing him up as well. There's stickies on this fence, we need to avoid that. Silentis is going to jump off them, no fear for him. Koss ends up going in, launched in by those stickies. Kaidus will get picked off. They might be able to get Drak here as well. Drak winning the 1v1 with Sideshow. Ends up being an even trade, and Permzilla got out of that one. So he's going to be able to build up an Uber advantage, and only 20 seconds nerdRage need to get. So they basically have 2 minutes now to continuously push. As Spudd hits another sick double donk onto Stark to shut him down. In comes Drak from the flank, trying to force Perilous off. Permzilla doesn't quite have Uber yet. Spudd staying in, does so much damage to Happy again. Talash is trying to follow up on it now. More damage going off, Kaidus weak as well. Perilous putting up a really good fight considering they don't have Uber in this. Just pinning them back, slowing down nerdRage. Perilous can't really afford to give up the cap for long here, and Permzilla's not been forced. Sideshow's trying to get through on the flank. He's going to get through, gets one rocket onto Permzilla, gets the stick out, but Permzilla backs away, and they do actually force him. But Koss nearly has Uber as well, because they waited so long to use it. They're not capping the point, now they're going to pop. Really defensive pop from Perilous, they're going to have to go deep with this one to make it work. Silentis just gets saved by Koss. Great catch on him, Spudd's got the melee out onto Permzilla. Desperately trying to reload, Permzilla's got away. Spudd has no ammo, he goes for one final dog before getting taken down. Meanwhile though, they cleaned up Captain on the point, and Perilous still want to fight. Both soldiers going deep, trying to fight these scouts jumping around the rock. Talash comes in as well. Kays cleaned up too, Drax now arrived from the high ground with this soldier spam, cleaning up so much. And once again, nerdRage scouts just dominating these team fights.
They're so good at playing around Permzilla. They know exactly when they need to be with him and just how to keep him safe. Like, we have a Sideshow goes in there and Captain just slams him. It's like, no matter what, someone is going to protect Perm, and that fight was amazing. Like, they were playing off their spin. Their health wasn't too good, but they knew they were about to have backup. Like, any second now, just about to come up and go their way. However, it did take a while, so Perilous had theirs ready, and they used it. They were already 3 down. It almost didn't matter. And now on this next round, Thalash is starting off a sniper, but Haffy did check for that.
He did, yeah.
With Spy. So let's see how it goes. Kaidus is going to be rolling out through this cliffside, getting some stickies onto the Perilous, not getting too much though. Drak instantly going to try and go behind along with Captain. Let's see if they can get anything doing with this. They are going to try and get onto the sniper straight away, but really they've just kind of not given any position for their teams, but they've somehow just managed to find all of these frags. We now have a 2v3 on the point happening. Soldiers for Perilous trying to make the dream happen, but they're going to go down. Ast is the only one remaining, and he's just going to try and meet with his team as nerdRage is just going to cap the point. Hopefully. Hello? Someone? Huffy? Yeah.
There we go. Stark and Happy just don't go down in any of these team fights. Like,
Yeah.
They just... Like, the Perilous will just try and focus them to force them out into like a bad position, but they just don't die. And they just come back into these sort of the later stages of the fight and just crush Perilous. As Perilous are able to reclaim that just off the back of their better spawns. It's going to even out, and they do have Talash on a sniper. Body shot onto Kaidus, I think, there just to pin them back. Happycall's already peeking in, and nerdRage taking quite a slow approach to this, no rush, just as the times overlap right now. nerdRage want to go. Captain's going deep, pins him back, he gets launched back. Sideshow's actually going for a bombo onto Permzilla. He'll get taken down. Silentis is going deep, air shot onto Sil, but Sil somehow still gets the frag onto Captain. And now players are behind, the nerdRage flank has happened. It's just Koss with both his scouts, or well, one scout and a sniper even. And Talash is stuck behind. Drak's going to force him back. Somehow Talash has survived this whole thing. But no real good coming from that Uber there as nerdRage retake the point.
Yeah, ticking down the clock yet again. 2:40 remaining. Looks like Sideshow's going to try and go for some jump right now. Gets onto Perm and finally takes him down. It only took like 20 attempts. Meanwhile, Kaidus trying to go forward just has the same fate, and this fight has been taken straight to Perilous. They're trying to hold out. They're 3 up, and they have good health. Can they finish off these frags? Silentis gets a pick onto Drak right now, but Captain is just going to be raining down damage on top of them. He gets one rocket onto Koss. Really nice surf there. He jumps right back into him though, going so hard into him again. Koss finally dies.
I think
juked him twice.
Was it Happy or Stark or one of the nerdRage scouts was coming up behind as well? Koss knew like he just needed Spudd to kill the soldier quicker. Like he was dodging as best as he could. But Perilous again come out on the top of that fight, set up by that Sideshow pick onto med pick onto Permzilla, and now we see Silentis hiding close actually. He's going to get straight onto Permzilla, but gets juggled up by Kaidus. One rocket onto him, 2 rockets onto him. Permzilla will survive right next to the health pack as well. Perilous lose both soldiers. With a sniper as well, they're just going to have to play in this one defensively. As nerdRage take control of the point once again.
Yeah, Drax doing such a good job of denying that sniper. It's like been his whole life's mission this map has just been get on Thalash as much as possible, and he's been doing it really well so far. Perilous going to be trying this push right now. Thalash not really getting anything going, getting shot down, a little bit weak himself. We finally have an initiation play from Solentis there, and he does take down Perm. That's pretty huge. Drakenstark also go down. Ast with a pick, and finally a headshot onto Kaidus there. Thalash, that's a very decisive win for Perilous, not losing a single player. They got the point once more. 1 minute 41 seconds remaining. It looks like they're going for a forward hold as well. They need to get as much time as possible. It's 2-0. If they lose this round, the game is over, CX.
Yeah, we see Stark run headfirst into that sticky trap, going to give Spudd an easy kill right there, and it's really important Perilous can get in this one, because firstly, they need some momentum, and also they have to win to stay in it. And we see Perilous back out of the forward hold straight away after that initial pick, just going to give nerdRage space. It looks like nerdRage might just want to set up a suicide here. Permzilla's really not committing at all. Stark and Drac starting to make their way in. 70%. Here comes Captain for a big bomb. Ast is going to two-shot him though. Nice shot. As Kaidus goes deep onto Kos. Kos is holding onto it for dear life. And he gets cleaned up by Spudd. Great play from Kos now, holding onto that Uber. Keeping his team with a big advantage. As we see Perm and Happy just back in spawn, building Uber, trying to even it out. And now we see Sideshow on a roof.
Oh my god. If this works, this would be pretty incredible. It looks like they're going to go their right side. They've spotted out Sideshow and he's just immediately going to back off. Looks like nerdRage are pretty much set on this cliff push. Let's see how it goes. Perm taking some early damage. The Uber's going to be used right now. Let's see how far Captain takes it in. He gets straight onto Kos, knocks him in the air and does get the Uber out of him. Now he's going to take this to go behind and draw some players with him. Let's see what Perilous do. They're grouping up together. They're not really going to look for him. They're going to take the fight to the rest of nerdRage, who are coming behind the point right now. Kaidus raining so much damage, but Captain finally going to clean up from Solentis. The cap time is going down. They should be getting it. There's only 10 seconds left for Perilous. They're all really weak, though. They need to... Let's see if they're going to heal, if they're just going to come straight back. They're around this main area. Thalash peeking, not getting anything, though. Pretty unfortunate. It's still in their side, though, because 120 minutes remaining for nerdRage, as Perilous look to be making their push. CommanderX as an air shot happens from Drax.
Yeah, Drax only going to get 1-for-1 trade. Kos under a lot of pressure, actually going to get piped down by Kaidus. Perilous is just going to try and go forward off of that. Soldier deep onto Permzilla. Sideshow's on the chase. Perm surfed away. Sideshow's still on the hunt. He's going to jump one more time. He juggles him into the air. Misses the next rocket bow and Perm walks away. Perm somehow survives that. And nerdRage have kept hold of a point through all of that as well, so they're down to 50 seconds on the clock. Perilous effectively only needs to cap it back once and hold it for 9 seconds. Still plenty of time, but Permzilla's really close to Uber after surviving that Sideshow bomb. And now we see Spudd takes a load of damage, will go down, just going to make it difficult for them. They lose Sideshow as well. Kos has to be careful not to go down here as the rest of Perilous get crashed. Talos desperately trying to save his medic. Kos is committed in, but he goes for a sword, desperately trying to survive, but he's just completely outnumbered and outgunned. And all of a sudden, nerdRage are completely in control of this game again. That
was completely brutal. Captain and Drac bombed at the exact same time as Kaidus hit 2 stickies on the combo, and then the scouts just came up and cleaned everything. That was just such a dominant push by nerdRage there. Let's see if Perilous can get anything going. This round it is really close. They're trying to come out their main, but the players are getting slammed before they even see the sunlight. Spudd charging onto Kaidus, can't quite get him. He does get onto Kos, and it's going to be 3-0 for nerdRage after an extremely dominant Viaduct.
Yeah, that was absolutely crushing. It's such a shame as well, especially in that last round. It really looked like Perilous had sort of, found their feet. Yeah. There was that one push where it was a completely even team fight, and then still just initiate it with a bomb, and then Perilous just follow up brilliantly and just open it up, and crush all the nerdRage players. But that final sort of chase between Sideshow and Permzilla could have made that fight completely different. nerdRage may still have won it, and would mean they didn't have that full 100% Uber that Perm sort of guaranteed push would be a success. Because once they got back holding that point, nerdRage never looked like giving up control of it.
That I don't know. Not killing Perm wasn't that bad. Like, it would have been huge if he got it and probably changed the outcome of like the round and how the next fight went. But it still drew like nerdRage really far back, so that Perilous had time to get to the point, pretty much the same time as nerdRage got back there as well, and pretty much reset an even fight on mid. But that seemed to be their biggest downfall because then Drac and Captain just destroyed them in that like normal fight. And let's take a look at some of these logs here, CommanderX. What comes out to you? What's the first number you see?
Big top damage for Spudd on his team, followed by a not so impressive 7 and 17 KD.
Ooh.
Ooh. But we see like Kaidus doing 436 damage a minute is loads, absolutely loads. And he's got sort of a KD to reflect it as well. But standout has to be Haffy, 18 kills, 12 assists, 4 deaths, 7.5. Yeah, compared to say Asts, who got what 15, 4 and 13. Put out more damage than Haffy by a little bit, but like a 1.5 KD. You know, if we talked about that comparison between Pocket Scouts before the game, and just completely different leagues right there.
Yeah. Do you know who would have had a really good game if you swap kills and deaths around? Sideshow. He would have been a huge impact player if dying was better than getting kills.
I felt like Sideshow had like a couple of nice moments. Like there was a couple of times he was like one rocket away from that med pick. You know, like that final rocket just missed. But whereas if it would hit, Perm would have died. Like he's already hit 2 rockets onto Perm or something, so Perm's one-shottable. But a lot of Sideshow's attempts seemed like really solo plays. You know, like there wasn't a lot of like other than mids where like Scylla and Sideshow both went at the same time. There wasn't a lot of that seemed to be like Sideshow syncing up with the rest of his team. Yeah. I have to say, like, Talash went missing in that game as well, both on Scout and Sniper. Like, he got a couple of headshots onto Kaido, but really not a lot else.
Yeah, like, you expect to see a lot more from Talash Sniper. Something else that sticks out to me, Permzilla didn't even take 2,000 damage as medic on Viaduct. That's pretty ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
Considering Viaduct is, like, one of the easiest maps to get on a medic, and it's, like, an average game, a med would take about 3k damage, right? Like 2 to 3k damage, and he didn't even take 2 on Viat. That's
yeah,
so,
1,000 less damage than costs. But it's the deaths that come out. You know, Permzilla on 3 deaths, costs on 11 deaths, and yeah, like they just weren't getting on Perm. Sasha was the only person getting on Perm, but he was sort of getting on him by himself. You know, like you know, there's times where costs would juke like Captain or Drac. But then eventually, one of the nerdRage scouts would just be there, and suddenly costs making a soldier miss rockets mean nothing because he's just getting a scattergun rammed down his throat. Whereas you see, on the other side of it, Permzilla's able to dodge Sideshow's rockets, and then there's no one to follow up. You know, there's no sort of follow-up aggression from anyone, any of the Perilous players. Like, maybe partly because they had a sniper? Like, I don't know. I found the sniper decision weird, because if they had some really close team fights in which the sniper did nothing, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It could have been like the difference maker if they had that meat shot potential. I have an idea. Something else that they could have tried. If you think about this, right, Koss isn't living as long as the other enemy medic. How can we solve this? Crits! Then you don't need to live as long.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been something. I don't know. Maybe they are saving it for I-58.
I mean, the other thing is, like, there's maybe, you know, if you're going to go all out to beat nerdRage, right? If you're going to go all out, pull out all the strats, you're not going to do it 1 week before playoffs. You're going to wait until playoffs, aren't you? You know, like you're not going to show your full hand a week before.
Maybe this is like the double bluff.
Yeah.
So they paid off Forskings to not play Viaduct, and now they've played like trash intentionally on Viaduct so that they can play it in the finals and then win. This is it. Perilous are like playing the super long con.
Yes, probably. Or they might just be bad, but yeah,
it could just be a lot worse than nerdRage, considering they are pretty much a collection of the best players in Europe right now. It's a very, very fair point.
But yeah, we did. Yeah, but again, what we talked about a bit before, you know, Koss just dying a lot more than normal. Like some of the times, I felt like he did his best. Do you know what I mean? Like dodged as long as he could, but it was just a bad situation. Like the team just got crushed. And then other times there was a couple of moments where he just seemed to commit slightly too far across the point at the wrong times.
Yeah.
But saying that, I don't think it's really Costa's fault in any way that they lost. Like the fight was lost on a variety of places, not just because Cost died more, and Cost died more mainly as a result of them losing the team fight. It was just really Stark and Haffy just played so standout as a duo around Permzilla.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
and Perilous had no answer.
Perm did like a really good job of staying alive and all that, but it's like 50% him and his team. Like, he only has to do half the job. The other half is done by his scouts, and it's like you could see in that game they were definitely performing. It was so hard to even get onto Perm, let alone actually kill him. Like, you had 2 meat shots. That's it. The moment you hit the second scattergun shot, like, you're dead if it's Haffy and Stark on you. So good. They got 3 kills on him, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like, if you look at kills and assists, like, Stark got what, 39, Haffy Cool got 40, like, kills and assists, and altogether nerdRage got 97 kills, which mean that pretty much Haffy and Stark were always involved in one of the kills.
Yeah.
Or if not both involved in the kill. Like, they're just shooting everything, do you know what I mean? Their focus fire was really good, and obviously Captain and Kaidus are always going to put out damage, so if you have both scouts ready to pounce on that, it's going to make it so easy.
It's GG.
Yeah. If you look at the heal spread as well, like, I don't think we have it up anymore, but it's really... If you look at nerdRage's heal spread, it's really good. Like, you look at the amount of Haffy and Stark both getting like 20% heals. It's still up. Nice work, David.
Mine's not. I closed mine accidentally. I just switched to Windows 10 and I have no idea how this works. Find the logs again.
But it's really like, so it's like 24% Kaidus, 24% Captain, 20% Haffy, 18% Stark, 12% Drac. Like, consider it's a constant mid fight. That's a really nice heal spread compared to, like, Sideshow getting no heals, still trying to make it work. Talash and Ast about the same, but a more heavy stack onto like Spudd and Silentes. But you saw now, even though Spudd and Silentes got like a higher proportion of heals, like Spudd getting more heals than anyone else on the server by a little bit, they still went down a lot. Like, they still took, like, Silentes was really low in every team fight.
Yeah.
Like, not for any fault of his own, he's having to just take a lot of damage, but it's, a real struggle.
Yeah, like, the amount of times that you saw players who were initiating from Perilous, like, when they were going in, had a buff, it was pretty rare, because they were just constantly being pressured by someone. Like, if you were visible to anyone on nerdRage, you were having damage put on you, and it's just something they're really good at. They're just a team unit, and it just really does excel. Like, you could see in that game, they knew what they were supposed to be doing at all times. They just played really tight together, and it really is something that just sets them apart from the European scene at the moment. Other teams are just going to have to step it up, and as they do, we're just going to get better and better TF2, so I'm just waiting for that day to arrive. It's going to be awesome.
Wait, is your STV working yet?
Yes, it's 0-0.
Okay.
You're welcome, my friend.
Nice, okay.
So, that's Viaduct. What do we feel about Badlands?
I don't know. It's going to be really different. Talash isn't going to snipe as much, so, because it's 5 CP, so which is probably going to work out better for Perilous in the long run, hopefully.
Watched some Perilous games before.
But there were some promising moments, like Ass had a few nice moments, Spudd had a few clutch moments, Obviously, this middle as well. Both demo men are going to be integral to, setting their team up for this. We know Kaidus likes to get aggressive across the point. So Spudd will be ready for that, but it'll be interesting to see, like, if Spudd just chooses to go toe-to-toe with him, just face up across the point, or if they've got, like, if they want to go Valley, or just completely switch it up, But again, the most important thing, because Badlands, again, quite a scout-heavy map, they just need to contain Stark and Haffy. Like, they need to contest them. Either contest them or do something to counter them properly. Yeah,
that's pretty much it. As long as... Well, it's not, though, that's the thing. Like, you can sort of neutralize Stark and Haffy, but then you still have Kaidus, Drac, and Captain to worry about. You've just beat level 1. Like, good. Now you've got the rest, and you've got, like, no more continues left. But this map is now beginning. It's the last week, week 7 of Season 23, Perilous versus nerdRage. This is going to be the first middle of the final map of the season. Let's see who takes it, CommanderX.
Yeah, I'm watching Kaidus right now as he goes balcony of his first, and Spudd going balcony as well, as we see both Perilous soldiers getting up the shithouse area, just dominating that. Happy Kill goes to challenge them, and now Drac's coming in, trying to bomb onto Spudd, but Ast is there to cover him. Sideshow goes down. Silentis is just on the chase. They've separated Kaidus from this fight. And it's pretty good position right now for Perilous, but they don't have the numbers. They're just holding that train, and nerdRage just can't make a decision where they want to go. Captain's going to try and challenge it. So's Kaidus, but he's going to get picked off. Stark's now got one frag, but they're just going aggressive onto Permzilla since they lost Koss. Sideshow's rolling out again. Ast is desperately trying to pistol down Captain. He's just run out of ammo. Sideshow's on his way though. I don't know if they know Sideshow's coming or if Sideshow knows where they are. Happy Cool's going to see him. Permzilla's going to just run back into the shithouse and run away. Putting the distance between him, and it looked like a really good position for Perilous there, but I didn't see what happened to Koss. I think it was Drak, and yeah, Drak just sort of saved that push for or saved that mid for nerdRage there.
Like, essentially what got them the early lead was the fact that Perilous were together, but towards the end of that fight, it was kind of their downfall. Like, Drak bombed them, and then just sort of went worse and worse from there. Spudd got a nice double pipe on the Stark. That was about the saving grace. And now we have the fight on Spire, and it's already halfway capped. Spudd trying to rain down this damage to deny the scouts. He actually gets Stark really weak. Huffy's also really weak. His push isn't going too well. Permzilla now gets forced as well. All of Perilous's health is really good. They're in a good position to block. We're going to have Sideshow trying to block there. He does pick off Stark in the end. You know, he's the little soldier that could. We do actually have Big Boy Captain now jumping it. And let's see if he can get a pick. He's actually just going to get focused down by Aston, taken down. 2 dead for nerdRage. They're just going to have to back off. And Koss is almost at his Uber as well. This is looking pretty good for Perilous.
Sideshow actually ended up playing that really well. Despite Fluffy's first jump, it worked out really nicely for him. As we see Perilous now trying to force it way through, and it's choke them, taking a load of damage. Aston's come through House Foe, and nerdRage probably actually could have committed to that hold a lot more. I don't think they realised how much damage they'd done, but instead just going to concede mid, wait to try and get the Uber up, and they're sitting with Stark on Sniper and forward spawn as well. And they're actually coming forward spawn. Body shot onto Silentis, going to get him super low. Koss is going to pop it off. Weird pop there from Koss. Silentis is not going to be safe with it.
Anyway, that's so unfortunate for Perilous. That push is just pretty much ripped for them straight away. Just a bit of miscommunication. Like, when he was so weak, Silentis wanted to back off, but Koss wanted to keep it going, and it just resulted in, like, the worst Uber of the year.
I hear there were 2 rockets going towards Koss's face, so it was either pop it or drop it. Not as much his fault, but again, Perilous not taking full control of that resupply when they're pushing it, leaving themselves vulnerable. And now nerdRage, you know, comparatively, like, nerdRage taking control of this one. As we see Sideshow and Drak actually dueling it out on Spire. They force the Uber on mid as well. Sideshow's still trying to hold it. He knocks off Drak super low. It's 1v1 on Spire. Sideshow's going to knock him off, but they do lose mid. And this costs Perilous so much on mid as well. So many Koss, Spudd, and Silentis all going down. And now Sideshow is just super far behind. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do from here.
Yeah, nerdRage are probably just going to ignore him and keep pushing forward. Although you said Sideshow was practicing his MGE, right?
Yeah,
like,
he won it.
It goes to show, yeah, like the only good thing he's done this game is just play Spire. Everything else has been okay. But the moment he's fighting Drak on Spire, he's got that one in hand, so it's okay. But meanwhile, the rest of the team is just sort of in lobby. Although Perilous has got players forward trying to get the spam, Happy Cool is going to go down. And Sideshow's now on Spire finally, but Stark's just going to finish him off. With 2 dead for Perilous and an Uber coming up for Permzilla, this is looking pretty bad. The spawns aren't even up in 10. nerdRage is going to try and rush this through lower right. Solly's spamming it. Let's see where this goes. There is a sentry. They're just going to have to take that down before they do anything. Uber used now. Spudd drops down onto the floor. Sentry finally goes down. Took a while, but they can't get any damage onto Spudd. He's got the stickies on the point. He finally gets rocked. Now the point is open up. But with Captain and Stark down, it's not looking the best for nerdRage. The spawn is finally coming for Perilous. This should just be a reset.
Perilous did a pretty good job there. Like, they just bought so much time. Now they allowed the respawns to come in, and nerdRage just couldn't make anything happen quickly enough. They got delayed so much by that sentry. They just went in bottom right, like, completely blind. I don't think they knew the sentry was there, and it just ended up costing them.
Nice pun. Koss, Tinglum.
Now it's a push out, and Silentis is going to get dropped, meaning Koss is alone under bridge with Uber. Taz is going to clean up on point. Koss is going to meet up with Ast. Koss is not going to be able to pop. Doesn't see Captains above him. Stark's going to kill Ast as well. Spudd gets 2 at the door. He's still sticky in the door. He goes out. He pipes Kaidus as well. He's bought some time. Sideshow is below. He's on the ring, trying to buy time. The Uber gets popped though, and nerdRage will take it. And yeah, again, nerdRage sort of gifted that one, you know, after that sort of poor push out. From Silentis and Koss. Like, Silentis is getting dropped, then Koss dropping the Uber. Just a complete, it's not even like individual mistakes, it's a complete miscommunication over what they wanted to do.
Yeah, just a series of unfortunate events. Let's see if they can get it back together on this middle. I'm watching Kaidus. He gets an initial sticky onto Spudd. Looks like Perilous want to play on their slope along, doing the same thing. Draxing first casualty of this mid, and Stark has gone behind, find a pick onto Sideshow, but nerdRage aren't really in a position to do anything while all of Perilous are together in Captain's Point. However, Kaidus from House is just raining down 1,000,000 damage, but Perilous are getting these picks. Only 3 up for nerdRage. They should be looking to back.
Yeah, Kaidus back in lobby with Permzilla, happy call on resupply. Not really a lot nerdRage can do from the situation, just going to back it up to last. They're actually on balcony, they're thinking about it. I don't know if they're just going to revert us into a forward hold. If not at all, no, they're just going all the way back. Stark is actually lurking around resupply though. He's zoned out, and now it's going to be Perilous's chance to push last. And this could be the difference here. Like nerdRage, a bit shaky with their first push, or their first attempt in the previous round. Now it's going to be Perilous's chance to see what they can do with their Uber.
Yeah, it's Cookie Cutter versus Cookie Cutter, no off classes for nerdRage just yet. I mean, they have time to get something going. They do have a spy of Huffy, but he's probably just checking for Perilous's shenanigans, but they're not going with anything. They're keeping this one pure. I think the Uber's going to come out through main. They're just going to single it, try and get a recycle. The Uber does get forced out. Nice play from Silentis. Now they're just going to back up. Oh no! nerdRage actually keep them trapped in here. That's pretty unfortunate. It's final flash from Cost, but it's all in vain. Silentis is going to go down. Now the question is, do nerdRage keep the pressure up, or do they just be content? Sideshow does jump the point. The stickers are going to get debt from Kaidus, and that's just going to pretty much rip Arena this push. Although they might have someone go for a back cut.
Yeah, Talas is spotted out by Stark though. Stark and Talas is just going to back all the way back up, meet up with his team. And now it's nerdRage's chance to push out. Captain jumps for point, happy cool as well. Talas just gone behind though. Drax seen him running to last, but he's not going to be there in time, and Talas is just going to steal it. Drax can't make it. Talas literally, he threatened bottom right, like when that nerdRage first started pushing out. Met up with his medic on Stonebridge, went all the way around to resupply, back through the other door, and just gave nerdRage the run around and steals the round, 1-1.
Brilliant. Off the back of that, as you said, we are now 1-1. And speaking of ones, we have 1,000 viewers. Can we get some spam going in chat for that? That's pretty good. Let's go into this middle. Let's celebrate this.
Solid walk-in by Talas right there. Yeah.
As we go into this middle, Spudd's just going to get taken down straight away from Kaidus and Stark. It's pretty unfortunate. The equalize from Sideshow though onto Permzilla. Captain's going to finish him off, but this is looking pretty good for Perilous now that they've got the meta advantage. 60% pretty much on costs to play with. So nerdRage are going to look to push in at any point that Uber is going to get used, and they're going to keep costs very safe to make sure that no one even can make the play on it.
I was about to say, Drac and Captain Pete choke, like they thought about going for it, but they saw where Cost was. Like Silentis and Cost played that so well, just getting out of there, you know. It meant that Drac and Captain didn't even want to try it. And now we're going to have this big Uber advantage, and it looks like Silentis wants to go through House with Ast and just take it straight into him. But Kaidus does have it sticky. Silentis is going to go down to it. Kaidus reading what Perilous wanted to do there, and instead it's going to be a double scout Uber coming through House. Uber is popped. Chasing down the soldiers, they catch Drac but nothing else. Stark's just powered through.
Wow.
Killed Spudd and Sideshow somehow though.
I don't think he's
Perilous
done yet.
has just been ripped apart. And now we see Kaidus jumping through onto resupply. Stark's gonna get the third of his kill streak. As it looks like Talas wants to take the one-on-one with Kaidus. Kaidus is hiding on resupply. Boston Bastard jump up by Talas. Kaidus was not ready for that.
Maximum swag with the sword jump into the double meat shot. That's we should name that the Thalash. Let's just go with the Thalash for now. However, it's a nice pick onto Kaidus, but there's still a huge Uber advantage for nerdRage, and they've got the Spires, so they're just going to be taking lobby, and it's going to be a lost push pretty soon, unless they can get some kind of play going. Like, it only buys a certain amount of time that they kill Kaidus, you know? Like, it's probably still going to... they're still going to get pushed on with an Uber advantage.
Yeah, it's getting on a lot closer, though. It's weird that they're not going with, like, a Pyro Engineer to buy them a bit more time, just for loose cannon from Spudd. So instead we're going to see 25% away for Koss. In comes the Uber right now. Koss is just holding on to it. Spudd's been forced onto the floor, so is Silente. Captain should clean up both of these frags. They're going to get on the point. Kaidus with a plane train going to cap it out. And that was so close. Like, Koss was so close to Uber at the end there. Like, if they just had a Pyro, even if he did, like, a mediocre job, or Engineer, you know what I mean? It would have just bought a little bit of extra time. Yeah. That might be nothing to hold on now.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. They just focused on Spudd so great, and then Kaidus just gets on the point. They couldn't kill him quick enough, and it gets capped out 2-1 the score with 19 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Spudd quite quick to this middle, but not really doing anything with it. Stark just rushing straight into that choke area, but he gets taken down pretty weak. nerdRage playing in their valley, and they're going to find Stellantis. Great bomb there from Captain, does like 1,000,000 damage, forces all the Perilous into the house, and an even air shot there from Drak to finish off this mid as he takes down Sideshow. Kaidus not done! Oh, the trade! Spudd and Kaidus taking each other down after that brilliant slip and slide from Kaidus there. But in the end, it is going to be nerdRage capping out Spire again.
Yeah, as we just go past like the first 10 minutes in this game, we see Permzilla surviving again. I feel like Stark could have been punished earlier on in that, as Captain just takes Stellantis on Spy right now. But yeah, I feel like Stark could have been punished harder for that. Well, they XFEM, not punishing him for that. Now we see Engineer and Heads of Classes coming out. Drax already to Sideshow. Taking their time with this right now. It looks like Captain is going to come in now. They're going to focus down that sentry. Talas is trying. Now they're going to focus the point. Scout on the point. Spudd doesn't have it stickied. Happy Cool's going to cap it off. And that's 3-1 right now.
Yeah, it was looking pretty close at the start, but as this one drags out more and more, nerdRage just looked to be a bit more and more dominant, really. It's kind of unfortunate, but maybe Perilous, formerly full tilt, aren't tilting right now, and they can get their head in the game, High School Musical style, you know, gel back their hair, do whatever they need to do, just be as cool as possible. I believe it's going to happen right now in this middle, even if Kaidus is 5 seconds faster than Spudd, forces him back into his choke, and Stark just picks him off instantly. The rest of Perilous are going to jump nerdRage's train and see what they can get for it, but Perilous, nerdRage already in good position. Stark still fighting people in this house as we have a pause.
Yeah, dramatic pause. Really weird. Spudd went left, like the normal rollout, but none of the scouts went with him, so it just meant that Stark just, again, rushing shithouse as he has done, you know, a couple of mids already in this map. Just gets a free 1v1 with a demo man who's only got stickies because Spudd was on the booty. So easy 1v1 for Stark to set that one off, but they have lost Kaidus as well, like on the other side of it, nerdRage. But really weird positioning from
everyone.
Perilous right now. Like, Kos is at shithouse, Sideshow's meeting him on train, Ast and Talash are both on their own slope, Stellantis is, you know, in house, but the other team's house, trying to take a 1v1 with Hafikul. And right now, this is all going to come down to 1v1s, because Captain's 1v1 in Sideshow, Scylla's 1v1 in Hafi, Ast is 1v1 in Drak, and then Stark's about to come back in from the enemy house and take a fight with... Yeah, like... And Perm and Kos are just going to continue to exist, healing no one, essentially, at this point. In like, the next 5 seconds after this unpause, there's going to be no real heals on anyone. It's all just going to come down to these 1v1s.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to get the first heal. Because it kind of depends on where Sideshow goes. Because if he lands on this train, Kos is going to get it. But, like, Perm might jump out to get Captain on the train. I don't know. It's going to be a bit weird. I honestly think Kos should probably just bail.
Yeah. Like... Even though Drak and Stark maybe would be able to cut him off, because Ast and Talash are there, they can't just beeline for Kos. They have to either kill these scouts really quickly. As we do go into the unpause right now, and it looks like no one's winning any of these 1v1s. Sideshow gets the better, dominates that train, but Ast and Stellantis both go down. Stark and Hafi coming out on top. Now they're chasing these players out. Talash taking a 1v1 with Hafi. Kos has managed to get away, as Hafi wins a second 1v1. Now Soldier through Drak onto Kos. Kos is surfing away. Catches a big rocket. Drak's still on him. Drak will finish it off. Drak's going to go down to Sideshow eventually, but he got the pick he wanted. Great persistence from Drak there, just chasing down Kos, getting that pick, and now it's going to be a really tough hold of Spire for Perilous. It looks like big bomb coming out, but Permzilla's so well positioned. Now there's just too much distance for Stellantis to cover, and now surely Perilous are going to have to give this one up. Yeah,
as well as nerdRage already have this 100% Uber. This is not looking too good for Perilous as a last hold. They do have a sentry, and last time they did prove to be a bit of a thorn in nerdRage's side. Maybe they can get that again. I think someone's going to look to spot it out. I think, yeah, Kaidus has definitely seen it, like, from that position. They know it's there. They should focus it straight away. They've not really gone with this. They do have a pyro as well. They're going to push in with this Uber. They're focusing down the sentry. It's taking so long. They're getting healed. Finally does go down along with Stellantis. The rebomb right now, though, from Sideshow. He's just going to get taken down. Sticky's still on the point from Spudd, but it's pretty much their final obstacle. Someone suicides for it. They all get on at the point and cap to make it 4-1. 16 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Hafikul taking one for the team right there, getting those stickies to open up for the rest of his team, and they did a bit like so far in a lot of these holds they've let Spudd get like either killed early on or he just gets knocked to the low ground and is in a terrible position to fight anyone. So they kept Spudd alive there, but the advantage just proved way too much, and nerdRage got too many frags in the Uber. As we go into this next mid right now, and Perilous needs something to chain. Sideshow gets on the enemy train nice and early, trying to spam him down. Stark's gone all the way underneath as Spy into house. nerdRage aren't committing to this at all. It's an elaborate play for the Stark Spy. Surely this won't work.
Perilous must know, because it's nerdRage.
It's so weird.
He backstabs Thalash. Can he get anything else? Just he disguises. He knows he's there. Come on, Ass! He couldn't. No way!
Stark is due.
30 HP just runs around and gets out. This is incredible. Like, he's still behind.
They lost Silentus as well. Like, nerdRage is going to want to push this. They have Uber and they have a Spy behind. And the Spy comes up again. He's going to try and get onto Ast. He's just going to try and slink away. Drak comes to back up his Spy as the Ubers are traded at choke. And Kost just kind of has to get out of this one. It's just such a mess.
What's in shithouse? They don't know he's there.
Spy being a constant threat. Spudd's just going to walk through. He's trying to pump out damage. He's firing stickies over blind though, and they're not quite in the right place. And they've lost people here. Sideshow's coming in for one desperate attempt. Goes for the air shot onto Permzilla, but Permzilla avoids it. Spudd's still trying to pump out damage, but he gets cleaned up. Kost gets away though, which is sort of a saving grace here, as the Ubers will be kept equal.
It's pretty much the only thing they have going for him. Drak already in really forward on lower right. He does get spotted out. Can he win this 1v1? No, Thalash has his number. So that's one pick for Perilous, but it doesn't look like they want to commit to anything further, no forward hold or anything. Oh, actually, Silentus with the direct hit is in reset, but he's not going to get anything going. All of nerdRage still on their Spy, just waiting to get their before they push in anything. Pretty lame play from them. Like, I'm going to call them out. Like, you're winning this hard, there's no need to do crap like that. Just push, make exciting things happen. Or Spudd is just going to come in and do 1,000,000 damage. Kaidus super weak, he takes him down. Okay, I guess they had reason to do it. Uber force from both teams. Spudd with the pain chain trying to get the melee hits going. But it's just going to end up resetting the situation.
Yeah, so it's just trying to force something to happen, but will get caught out. Kaidus just about to come back up on the spawn as Stark tries to get into top lob. Gets through onto Spudd though. Spudd's in trouble. Gonna get finished off. Drak comes in to sandwich him as well. No stickies on the point now if nerdRage just want to go for it. It looks like Happycall's lying to come up in main. Captain's walked in top. Gonna kill one scout before getting taken down by Ast. Drak tries to come in. Both scouts run in. Just focus down Sideshow. Nothing he can do. 5-1 to nerdRage right now.
I think the technical term for what happened to Sideshow there was he got fucked. His health bar was full, and then it was empty, and then the round was over. I think that's the best that can be described. Oh, look, the one thing that we said that nerdRage did that Perilous have never done, the crits.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rolling it out to middle. Let's see how this one goes, as Kaidus is going to be a lot faster than anyone else from Perilous to middle. Or was he? I couldn't see Spudd. Maybe Spudd was super quick.
Yeah.
Too quick for me to even see, dude. He's the speed of sound or light or whatever, and it's actually going to cap him out this round, but it's obviously another ruse.
Needs elaborate plays. Drak's going to go down, so it's going to be 5v5, but this crits is nearly up. Kaidus is waiting for it. You can see Spudd on choke. Stark somehow gets skill sticked in the house. In comes the crits now onto Kaidus. They've charged it up, but Perilous have just run away into house. Kaidus is going to jump back. Sticky's up Haunted, but they've gone the long way round. And now nerdRage are desperately going to have to try and flood back to get back into position. They've sort of met up in trash right now, but Spudd's behind them, shutting them out. Happy calls onto Kost. Going to force for pop, but Perilous have cleaned up everyone right now. Going to cap off Spire. And Drak and Stark are still on balcony, don't quite know what their plan is. They are just going to back it off now. And Perilous are going to go bottom right straight away, but Stark's there to meet them. He runs into everyone though. Respawns come in, but Sideshow's going to catch them, puts out a load of damage, forces them behind the point. Surely Perilous will be able to clean this up. More spawns come in, and somehow they lose everyone. Ast is going for a final play onto Permzilla. He can't get free to him though. Permzilla will survive. Silentus is coming in. Bottom right with the Liberty launcher. He gets one rocket onto the scout. He's getting rushed by another scout, and Stark and Happy just tag team him and force him down. It looks so good for Perilous, but they couldn't convert it.
You said Perilous needed to mop up, but clean up even, but like nerdRage already had the mop wet and soaked up and everything. They do try to push out and they can't recap Spire. Kaidus had his turn to get fucked there by Spudd. He got like headshot and then stickied with a quickie bomb. Well, that does reveal that they have the Quickie Bomb early. It might just be a troll, or it might be part of another Perilous master plan. As I've mentioned, they have many. Here we go, they're in through main. They've destroyed the stickies. So much cap time, and they do get it. 5-2, 11 minutes remaining. Is EU Gimmicks going to be the Perilous strats to tie up this game?
It was all based around that, you know, like the Quickie Bomb depth, like force Captain off a ring, took a load of damage. Sideshow goes on it. Talash is sniping down main, just focusing all nat, you know, spam and damage onto the point. And they just can't get around. It's such an awkward angle from top to hit the very back of a point where Sideshow was. They presumed it was safe because Captain was above it, but it doesn't work out. As we go into this next mid, and Kaidus dominating slope early on, but gets forced back now. Soldiers all over him, pressure him back. Kaidus just continues to focus forward, not phased. But Perilous in a dangerous position right now. Koss is separated from everyone as they lose Ast and Sideshow. Valentes comes in for the rebomb. And they will clean up Permzilla, and Koss gets away, but Koss is the only person to survive. Waiting on resupply, tempting fate, wanting one of the soldiers to come 1v1 him, as nerdRage flood onto Spire right there.
He just wanted to surf for his medic frag movie. You know, he's actually getting caught out here, and Stark just finishes him off with a meat shot. If only he would have just pressed S instead of W, he probably would have lived there. And Perilous' health not looking too good as they're all in lobby. Solentis really far forward with his Liberty launcher still almost going down. Sideshow tries to come and help them. They do force out Starkey. It's going to leave nerdRage on their Spire. The question is, what are they going to do from this position? They have a huge advantage. Sideshow's going to try and... Oh, Solentis even tries to jump in, but he just gets swatted out of the air. It's not looking too good, CX, you know?
I don't feel like they're fully committed to this game right now. Yeah. Yeah, Koss with a questionable decision to take for 1v1 there instead of falling back. Doesn't pay off. As we see, Talash has got himself behind right now, taking a 1v1 with Stark, but Drak interrupts that 1v1, shuts him down as his Uber's about to come in, top right. Kaidus and a scout leading it in. Soldiers coming in to back him up as well. They're just trying to force Spudd, dancing above the point as best he can. Koss is getting a slide. Absolute chaos right now. Spudd has somehow kept it sticky, but eventually has to drop. Captain's going to clean up one. Kaidus is going to clean up the final kill. Makes it 6-2 right now with 9 minutes left, and nerdRage should hopefully be about to close this map out.
So, what strat is nerdRage going to run to this mid? They had the crits last round and Spy the round before that. What's coming out this time? Are they keeping it clean? Let's see, Perm has Uber and there's no off classes. nerdRage keeping this one a bit boring for this round. As we go into this, the 9th middle. Spud's going straight in, down to 20 HP with a serious jump there. Gets arrowed from his friend, and Stark's actually going to be the first casualty as opposed to causing it this middle. Let's see how this one unfolds. Looks like Ast is in pretty deep right now. He's going to meat shot Huffy right in front of Perm. And now the chase is still going. He's going to take down Perm. Oh, sorry, it was Thalash picking up that pick. And nerdRage just lost 4 people pretty quickly. Finally, a decisive win from Perilous. The moment, the reason, stop running gimmicks. The reason, the nerdRage.
We see an awkward moment where Spudd and K just sort of jump past each other, going like opposite ways right at the end of that fight. Both will just get out and survive fine. As it looks like Stark maybe wants to fight Spire. Catches a sticky though. Looks like he wants to try and make it work anyway. He's actually going to run into Talash. He gets Talash weak and runs into resupply. Stark just being a constant nuisance right now. Sees where Talash is hiding, picks him off. And Stark is still just on the prowl, just on this balcony area, going to meet up with the rest of his team for this push out.
Like, that was ridiculous. Like, can we talk about that? Like, he got sandwiched by 3 people, just walked out and came back and got a kill. Like, what is Stark? Like, someone was chasing him from Spire, so he runs to, like, drop down, someone comes up drop down, he just walks out of drop down, goes into resup, gets his health, and just pops back up and kills Stark. Like, what? That doesn't actually make sense. As nerdRage try to be pushing in through this choke, but it's not going to work out too well. Both teams probably just going to wait for their Ubers.
Yeah, both teams playing it pretty conservative right now. Sideshow holding close in house, waiting for someone to overextend, but no one will oblige. And it looks like Solentis just locking down his chokes, just looks ready to go. But both scouts now ready to deny him, and Kaidus and Captain. Does mean Seal could perhaps get a good solo charge off, you know, just because there's so many players. But instead, it looks like we want to go through resupply. Going to come through Haunter now. Solentis is going to burst out. Going to get the instant frag to start. Going to focus down Captain now as well. We'll get the counter pop off. The Solentis runs behind, get focused down by everyone. We'll get cleaned off as Kaidus tries to take the remaining bit of this Uber through choke. Captain's going to come follow up though. Does get headshot though. Talash finishes him off with a body shot as well. In comes Drak though, taking down the sniper. Same as on Viaduct. Koss is going to try and surf out. As a get betrayed with Drax, just runs into his face. And surprisingly good trade from Perilous, considering how bad their Reaver ended up being. And now Silentis is coming back in, looking for more. Sort of, not really at all.
Never satisfied. Feels bad, man. Still's trying so hard to get frag movie. Oh, Spudd's getting jumped by Kaidus on Spire there, but nothing really happens. I saw Sideshow with the power of wall hacks just getting slammed in midair. I didn't really see what happened. I think Happy just shot him out of the air. Which has been happening a lot. Stark's trying to keep his pain train rolling. He's getting in onto Thalash and actually takes him down. He's got the sword out onto Spudd, but he can't quite get it. And Spudd actually just finishes him off. Third kill of his life. Pretty good life for Spudd. That's nice. The LMAO in chat. His team's still friends even after all of this. It's pretty crazy. I think nerdRage is going to roll this one through right now. Hop left area to get onto point as quick as possible. If he runs on it, the Uber is used. Both soldiers going to be finishing off frags, and that's going to be 7-2.
Yeah, that's 7-2. Clean win in the end for nerdRage. Dominant.
A really close game there. Really a lot of back and forth moments, middles where you never really knew who was going to win. Great TF2 action tonight. Sorry,
I think the team chat sums it up correctly. Happy Cool after the game ends writes, "Is Silentis okay?" Spudd writes, "Is he ever?"
Oh no, I closed the logs again.
I've not even opened yet, but I imagine we're going to see some pretty stacked stats in favour of the nerdRage players.
Captain has 11 air shots.
Yeah, 22 kills, top damage. Stark as well. Considering that was only a 23-minute game, 22 frags is pretty impressive, and that's what Captain, Stark, and Happy Cool all hit. Again, Happy Cool with that mad KAD, 4.1.
They all have 22 kills. It's almost scripted. Okay, no, I'm done with crazy theories for tonight. Let's see what else we can see. I want to look at these heal orders. Brought them up for the last map. Let's see if they're like any different. It's still like super even for nerdRage. 30, 25, 24, 10, and 10. It's pretty good. Sideshow got more heals than Silentis in the map, but I guess that makes sense considering Silentis was running the Liberty launcher.
And a direct hit. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Looks like Silentis only hit one direct hit, and he's brief stint with it.
Yeah. UKD.
Silentis not happy to play properly unless there's money on the line.
Isn't that why they got tech in the first place?
Yeah.
It was because Silentis wasn't taking things seriously.
I know, of all the games not to take seriously. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This one doesn't.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, even though it was kind of hype, because, you know, it's like a bit of a preview to the playoffs. At the same time, from like a strategic point of view, why give away anything in this game? Do you know what I mean? If you're going to be playing the same team in a week for the actual prize money, you wouldn't want to give anything away. So I think we saw both teams, you know, quite keen not really to give anything away.
Yeah, they just played some bog standard TF2, and in the end, nerdRage ended up being the better team at that. 3-0 on Viaduct and 7-2 on Badlands are your scores for tonight, with nerdRage getting the 6-0 points, thus securing them as first seed for the upcoming playoffs, and Perilous as second, which leaves us with DD5 Abs as third and publiclear.se as fourth. Oh, I'm excited for playoff 6.
Yeah, should be good. So I believe it's next Saturday, the first game, which will be Public Clear versus DD and 5 Abs. And then the semi-finals and grand finals the day after on Sunday. At least that's the plan as it stands. Obviously, we'll have to, you know, check the teams will actually have their players for that.
TF2.
That's the idea.
Dream. Have we got interviews coming? Question mark. Permzilla just joined Mumble as I said that, so I guess we do. Hi, Perm.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. That was
Nice.
a fun game.
Kaidus joined the wrong channel. Here he is. Hello, my man.
Hey,
You happy with that win?
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It was a win, alright.
It was definitely a 1. Anyone from Full Tilt coming along? Messing some people.
Yeah, he messaged some people. Yeah, so it seemed like Perilous were really keen not to give away any sort of strategy or resemblance of teamwork that they might use next week when they hope to meet you guys in the grand finals. Is that what you expected?
I'm sure that's what it was.
Was it a master plan of not giving away strategies, or were they just bad tonight?
Well, I think Viaduct was like a standard game, and we just won. On
Viaduct was
Badlands.
actually really exciting.
I really remember Badlands. Start
You just
gave
played it.
Start gave away our big Spider mid strat that we've been working on all season.
I saw the sick give up mid and just build crit strat as well.
Oh yeah, it was all part of the mind game.
That was the mind game. So we were hoping they'd think we'd have a spy, and then it actually crits in, but it didn't really work.
Well, yeah,
out
because
that
they
way.
all just pushed resupply while you were waiting to crits from a choke.
The comms got all messed up for the crits. Like someone said their resup, so I thought the med was going resup. So I didn't crits like choke for like 10 years. Then I randomly saw the med on mid. So then I went to crits choke, and then the med went to house. So it was all a big clusterfuck basically. But you know, lessons were learned.
Knew you had crits, so we just went into house.
And there was a huge opening where I could crits mid while you were there though. But because of the weird comms, I didn't get to use it.
Because I was like, can I cross? Can I cross? Can I cross? Because I wanted to go into house. So we just kind of like stood in that middle ground for ages.
There was like 4 of us on your slope. It was quite funny. Just before that, it was like one of the most like easily recognizable crits like you could ever want. It's like, they've sent one person in and they're all in choke. I wonder where they are. But I don't know. You could tell that there were issue with comms because you just didn't go straight away, and it was kind of strange.
Yeah, like someone just I don't know. I think it was Stark. He said their resup, but obviously he's talking about the flank. But when we have crits and we're about to do a crits play, like I assume every comm is like setting up for the crits. In my head, that it works that way. So when I heard their resub, I just thought it was like the combo. So I just froze like a deer in headlights.
Some other moments that map was when you jumped through choke Kaidus and then met Spudd on what's that, launchpad, and you had your little meeting there. What was your plan? Was it just
I was like in our valley, and I was like, okay, there's one alive. He's probably going to be out, so I just figured I'd do a pogo to get quick cap time. And he was on jump pad, and we traded.
It worked out really well because every time you were dead, I was like, he's gonna go quickie bombs. He's gonna go quickie bombs. And like the one time I don't call it is like where you traded there, and like it made perfect sense for you to trade the kill because it meant that you could get Spire for free without risk of a trap, and you could also get lobby control without risk of a trap. And even if you wanted, you probably could have pushed it, but I didn't think you guys were willing to kind of risk that push onto last without a demo because I kind of spawned in time.
That feel when Spudd gives better analysis about one random play than either of the casters did during the whole 2 maps.
I was a bit upset not upset, but I was a bit like annoyed that I died in a stupid way. But then I was like, oh, I can actually go quickie bombs here. So it's kind of, if anyone should die there, it was actually quite good.
Oh right, yeah. David's just said about the charge on product.
That was hype.
I literally have no words for it. I was like, I hope Kaidus just has like old man reactions or isn't looking, and I just charged through, like just instinctively just fired, thinking I was going to die, and I killed Haffy, and I was like laughing so hard. It was such a dumb play. Like, there's no way that should have worked ever.
How much better was it for you that you did it to Haffy as well?
Oh yeah, because like over the previous seasons, I've been using the loose cannon. You know, I've even mained it for most of the previous season, and I have a nice collection of like kills against Haffy Cool with it. So it was kind of fitting, you know, it was kind of sentimental that I happened to kill him in an official with it, and in like the most stupid way possible. But yeah, I had a good belly laugh at that. So
the time has come. It's like you've been training for this moment.
Haffy insists that he had a lag spike then. I'm not sure if I believe him.
Yeah, he wrote it in chat, so it's got to be true, you know.
I think he restarted his router between the maps just to make up for that moment.
Haffy's the only guy I can imagine complaining about lag at LAN.
Yeah, probably.
So, pretty much after that result, that secures you guys as the first seed going into playoffs, and you guys as second, you guys being Perilous as second. So, that means you're playing 2 teams then, Spudd. Does that excite you?
Oh yeah, it gives me a raging semi to think about it.
Nice.
Can a semi-rage?
Semi-rage, yeah. I mean, who is it that we'll actually be fixed against? It would be the decider
Winner.
between DD5
Public Clear and DD.
Public Clear.
Yeah, the winner of that plays you guys on... Is it still on Sunday?
I guess so. I mean, if you're saying it is, I'll take your word for it. So yeah,
Be there on
probably
Sunday, Spudd. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there on Sunday.
Just be there every day.
Well,
Just
I almost
in case.
missed it tonight because
Oh, yeah, your
my
dad.
dad's birthday party. For
Do
his
you want to
birthday.
apologise to your dad for blowing him off on his birthday
No,
on
because
stream?
dinner still isn't ready, so it's fine. So it wouldn't have
You can
mattered.
go, it's fine, Dad. We got rolled. I'm here for your birthday.
Exactly, yeah. Surprise! But no, it's fine.
Okay, so who do you think is going to win, Public Layer and DD5? And who would you rather play out of those two?
Cost, do you want to answer? You haven't said that.
Who's gonna? Probably. I don't know, to be honest. They're both kind of play TF2.
Probably
I-
got the knack of choking.
My 2 cents in here.
Public are the better team, but they have a knack of like choking randomly. So if they do that, then they might lose. But I think they should win.
Yeah, but Amsoni does that. Like, he does that idiot stuff when he's playing someone better than him, because he kind of like tries to do everything for his team and just ends up dying.
But he also,
And then he constantly fucks his team.
every team with Amazon always chokes against teams that are supposed to be worse than his team.
Also, Kaya's not calling now, so everything they do is just a complete mess.
Who was calling probably? Is it Ams? Or Smith?
I guess AMS, so some combination of no one's. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's Smith.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
But ever since Kaya stopped, all their pushes seem a lot more hectic.
Yeah, he was kind of the glue that was kind of keeping them together. I felt. Between the two, I think Public List should take it, but again, it's whether they're gonna tilt. You know, it's that question, and you know the recent change for QNX and Feeling is going to be massive because Feeling's such a very vocal individual, and QNX is, just not to the extent that Feeling is. And you know, having played in a team with Feeling, I know what he's capable of. And
QNX will call, you know, but when the going gets tough, Feeling will call for everyone very loudly. We'll know what to do.
Yeah, very true. And, I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of going to be interesting because Honey's not going to have that kind of argument with Feeling, and that could tilt them. I mean, you know, they've got very capable scouts, in Schoberg.
They've gone from "we will push now" to "we should push now."
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's a big change for them, and you know, if DD5 stops trying so hard to get YouTube clips and actually, you know, tries, he can actually become quite a valid member. And actually, you know, it'd be interesting to play against those guys. But if I had to throw it, I'd give it to Public Clear.
You won't be saying that when you get market gardenered in the semi-final.
Oh no, because I'm going to
Yeah.
try my absolute best to avoid them. You know, more so than other people.
Believe it or not, it's pretty easy to not get market guarded.
Yeah, you just don't
Despite
show
what
up to
Condom
mid.
says.
Yeah.
Good old Condom.
No, you just double echelon. It's as easy as that. So, we've had Perilous talk for a bit. Kaidus, who do you think your opponent in the grand final is going to be?
I don't know, to be honest. Probably Full Tilt, but
Perilous.
whatever they're called, Perilous. But I don't know. They were pretty. They didn't impress me tonight. So who knows? You know.
Not even my change of rollout. I did the alternate rollout to mid. It very nearly worked. Like, had I killed you, I would have actually just like, I would have been so content with the official, but it didn't happen. I'm so annoyed.
You'd a joy quit.
I would have, yeah.
But like DD5F have like played a lot better lately, I think. And I haven't. The thing is, I haven't seen Public Clear in like so long. For all I know, they've changed roles like 9 times since then. So I
To
really
save
actually have no idea. I haven't really followed the other teams lately. I haven't played many scrims, so I don't really get to see what they're up to. But I could see it being like really close because, like someone said before, like AMS like has a tendency to like underperform on the big games. Like not always, but it can happen. And like DD5F are probably like better than people rate them as. Like I don't really know how good they are, but they're definitely better than people expect. So if like you go into that game expecting to like crush these kind of like these guys you don't really respect, and then it starts going bad and you're prone to tilting, I could see it being really close for that reason. But I think Public Layer should win it, but you never really know. At Full Tilt, Perilous will probably just win whoever they play.
Alright then. CX, you got any questions?
Nah. And is it all, have you guys sorted out a schedule yet? Because from what I was told, it was Saturday and Sunday. Is that actually locked in?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Like,
It's happening on Saturday.
is it all on the
Tuesday,
same day?
Saturday.
I thought they were
it's,
doing third versus fourth on
Yeah,
Saturday.
third versus fourth is Thursday, or they might be playing Wednesday. I think it's either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm pretty sure. And then the rest of it, like third versus second and second versus first, is on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Alright then.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, that's all I have.
Alright then. So, I guess before I close this out, it's time for shoutouts. CX, you are at the top of the mumble, so you get to go first.
I have no one to shout out to. Next.
Alright then, Kaidus.
I don't know, man. I was gonna think about it. Pass.
Koss?
I think shoutouts are very dumb, and we should stop doing them.
I hate you all. Perms.
Shout out to Costs for that shout out.
Anytime, dude. Shout out to Permzilla.
Oh, thanks.
Enjoy your pasta.
T-Way.
Spud, any shoutouts?
Yeah, shout out to Koss, and shout out to Permzilla's shout out of Koss, and shout out to my boy Big Cum. He's currently serving. He's currently serving a community service of 7 days, but we're looking forward to his release so we can, we can get back together, get back in touch. So my prayers are with you, brother. One love.
Alright then.
Wait, who won the pasta bet?
Me,
Oh,
I won
wow.
it. Because I had one drop
Oh,
in Badlands.
way to
so
go.
I win.
Was that
He's
retarded
not.
drop on Stonebridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell. That was so dumb.
Alright, my shoutout is to Milky. And with that... Wait, what was the pasta bet?
Whoever drops more has to buy the other pasta.
Oh.
It's not very
That's the most
interesting.
What?
retarded thing I've ever...
Like a pasta meal, or just like, a pack of dried pasta?
Just fusilli.
This has been Team Fortress TV. I've been Max, CX has been CX, DavidTheWin has been the cameraman, as well as DavidTheWin. These have been the players. This has been ETF2L Season 23, Week 7. Your winners for both maps were nerdRage, 3-0 on Viaduct, and 7-2 on Badlands. Playoffs will be next week, and we hope to see you there.